Morning, welcome back to another video, and today we are going to talk about the topic how to get a lot of transmog fast. Now just stick around and enjoy the video. Okay, so starting off how this is going to go about. I know I'm on a Horde toon, I know I play Alliance, but I do have Horde toons. This is the only guy that's on Argent Dawn that is actually a Horde character. But aside from all of this, let's get into how to actually get a lot of transmog fast. Now I'm going to take a casual approach to this as we're on the wind down before the big release of Shadowlands and all that jazz. So what a better time in order to find out how to actually build up a stockpile of transmog in order to maximize the amount of gold and start bringing in some regular sales when it comes towards transmog. Now, aside from all of this, the road in order to get a lot of transmog really fast. I know a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I have to have thousands and thousands of transmog on the auction house, and I need a lot of transmog in order to bring in regular sales. Yes, that is correct, but it depends on the quality of the transmog in which you are actually farming. So say you can get like 1,000 pieces of transmog in like an hour. That is like unreasonable. That is like super unreasonable, but let's just say that. Now, when it comes to transmog with that, say that all those 1,000 transmogs are pretty much naff. No one wants them. They're like really bad. You've just spent all that time gaining up 1,000 transmog items, but yeah, no one wants to buy them. What you would really want to do is farming up the key ones in order to sell on the auction house to bolster up. So knowing the right farms in order to actually bulk out your auction house as fast as possible when it comes to transmog with items that will actually sell. Now, there are some key farms which you can always do, which are like Silphus, 5-man. That one will give you so much transmog, and yet it is a pretty decent one. And to be honest, I don't see it all that much farmed anymore that much, but it's a really good transmog farm for bulking out your auction house because you're working with 5 people, you're killing as many mobs as possible, and you get a load of transmog that sells really well. Now, when you're actually bulking out your auction house really fast, the best thing to go for is vanilla stuff. Personally, I would do an hour of like most dungeons, but the key ones that I would suggest is by doing Encourage, the ruins of Encourage, killing out the trash, not the bosses, skipping past those of course, so you can then reset the instance. But aside from that, when it comes to your bulking, you want to do things like Zul'Farrak, RFK, RFD, the rinse, water, repeat ones. Those ones are very good at getting some unique transmog items, some high ticket ones, and it bulks out your auction house quite a lot. Now these ones are done on like an hourly basis as they're locked behind the lockout of those dungeons, so there's only so many times in which you can actually farm those up. So if you wanted to bulk out as many transmog items as you possibly could, I would combine, and in a short amount of time, I would first combine those. So our objective here is to bulk out our auction house as fast as possible with as many transmog items as possible. So say we could do a dungeon in 30 minutes, the Blackrock Depths. I can do that in about 30 minutes with my character. Now with a speed set I can always do that faster, but that's not the point. We'll just say 30 minutes. Now, once we've hit that lockout, we can't farm it again for another 30 minutes. So what's the most logical solution? The most logical solution is to actually log on to another character that is already in an open world farm, because they can't run into dungeons because they're still locked out, and farm up somewhere in the open world. Now this could be the wetlands farm. Yeah, that one tends to not give you all that great transmog, very low ticket ones, but it is good for padding out your auction house. If you wanted to get some moderate amounts of transmog, yet they actually sell for a decent amount, then I would really suggest doing the open world ones within either Gorgrond or in Tanan Jungle, where all of the actual mobs are for the orcs. and you just want to keep massacring them for their items. Now, WoD Transmog items sell for a pretty penny, and I would highly suggest doing that one. Now, if you want to do something else still in vanilla, however, then it is most likely the Burning Steps one. Now, I alluded to this one in the video yesterday, where Student actually did a video on this, and he did a good job of actually explaining it. So basically, go over to Student's channel and you'll be able to find it pretty damn easily. If not, then I will leave a link in the description down below. Now, that being the case, you could always pair that with that, so you could do 30-minute lockout and then a 30-minute of farming that, and then alternate between the two. It's all about time efficiency here if you really just wanted to get as many as you can, because you want to maximize the amount that you're actually doing. So that just depends on how much time you're willing to put into it and how much time you really want to spend bulk padding and bulking out your auction house. Now, if you wanted to go along the lines of padding out your auction house when it comes towards, let's just say, having a wide variety. Now, Transmog selling a very wide variety of stuff will get you more sales, even if you have a lot of, say you just farmed only vanilla content. Now, you're actually leaving yourself out of a massive load of other expansions worth of Transmog that some people actually do like. So what you're doing is that you're just finite farming only vanilla stuff, so you're in just that category. What I would suggest is by actually expanding. So once you've gained once you've put in some moderate time in vanilla stuff, you want to put some time into BC, then MOP, and then WoD, and obviously last but not least you will want to put some time into Kata. Now, actually Cataclysm Transmog does sell rather well, it just depends on the Transmog items in question. Now, if you wanted, now for expansion wise, when it comes towards different types of Transmog farms, so vanilla, if I had to have a go-to farm for vanilla, it would be Zul'Farrak. Zul'Farrak's a brilliant one for people to start off for padding out their auction house. The one for the Burning Crusade, I would highly recommend Hellfire Ramparts or the Mana Tombs. Those two are pretty good, so we'll just go with the Mana Tombs. For Cataclysm, it is the Firelands. What you want to do is just take out all of the trash. You could just do that pretty damn easily. So yeah, you just farm the trash, don't kill any of the bosses, and you'll be able to get a load of Transmog from there. For MOP, however, for MOP, I would just run onto the Timeless Isles and just massacre everything. Failing that, you could always go over to the Isle of Thunder and just completely destroy all of the Mogu on there, which are on the left side of the map, if you wanted to know. Now, aside from that, if you wanted to farm up WoD stuff, personally, I find that the Iron Docks is primarily the best place to go for WoD stuff, and yeah, I find that one to be a very good way of actually doing it as well. Now, the other thing of note that I would say, however, for Legion stuff, because Legion Transmog actually sells rather well as well, is by just farming up the Falcosaurs or something along those lines with your skinning, because then you can get a load of materials as well to actually get some faster gold, and then obviously you can gain some Transmog from there. If not, then you could go with the humanoids in Suramar. Now, obviously the raw gold farm got nerfed, but we're not going there for raw gold, we're going there for Transmog. So what you would want to do is just completely just go around the entire crescent moon and all the way back. That's how I tend to do it. Obviously there is other ways and people like to do it. I just tend to just go around in a crescent moon shape and just do it that way. I find it easier to do that. But for all of that, what do I think is the best expansion for bulking out your Transmog items as fast as possible? It's definitely vanilla and TBC. They are primarily the ones that give you the most greens. Failing that, it would be WoD and or Cataclysm. So if you wanted to bulk this out as fast as you possibly could and try and get as many items as you could, then I would suggest that you do 3 hours of each dungeon that I'm just about to list, and that is Zul'Farrak, Wailing Caverns, Blackrock Depths, Mana Tombs, Hellfire Ramparts, and the Underbog. Now those ones are pretty damn good. They're 3 of each, so that means that you're going to be doing a lot of hours worth. So when it comes to all of that, it'll be about 18 hours worth of farming, but at the end of the day, or 18 hours worth of lockouts, however, but for all purposes, 18 hours is not that much when it comes towards just pure farming, like stuff like that. Put it simply, if you really wanted to bulk out as fast as possible, you're gonna have to put the time in. That is the bottom line. If you do want to get into the transmog market, if that doesn't appeal to you, don't do transmog. There are other markets you can get into, and yeah. So in all purposes, the transmog market is a long game. So what you want to do is, you don't want to get your transmog super fast. Like, you don't want to rush it and be like, yeah, I'm getting loads of regular gold. You could, but realistically it is a long game than opposed to a short game. That's why transmog holds up quite well in pretty much the span of the expansions that it has gone across, because at the end of the day, you can make a lot of gold from transmog, but it's all about the quality of the items overall. But I got asked this question on my Discord, and I felt like making a video on it, and in a very casual manner, so to speak. So hopefully this has answered your questions. If you really want to get into transmog, then do those farms, and that will give you a nice starting point for doing your transmog farming. Just do 3 hours of all 6 of those dungeons. And other than that, guys, that is pretty much all I'm going to have to say for the day. Have an awesome rest of the day, and I shall see you in the next video, which will be tomorrow.